Welcome to the latest article from Clive. God inspires, so I carefully write them down to share them with you. Remember that the Christian walk is a battleground and not a playground. This article is entitled Something More. I just need something more. I deserve an upgrade. I need more of this, or I definitely need more of that. Just need much more. I really deserve it. I desperately need it. Just something more. Quote, Satan found his way into Eden and made Eve believe that she needed something more than that which God had given for her happiness, that the forbidden fruit would have a special exhilarating influence upon her body and mind, and would elevate her even to be equal with God in knowledge. But the knowledge that and benefits she thought to gain proved to be to her a terrible curse. From First Testimonies, page 565. It is so easy to be seduced and deluded by flashy advertisements, seductive suggestions that you need this or that. You deserve it. You really need more, and you can't live without it. It is only a mouse click of your credit card away, and then it will be delivered right to your very door so that you may obtain way more and bountifully more, much more of this or that. I cannot exist without it. It is so very critical that I have it, and I must have it now, and I must have it right now. As it was once said, we must keep up with the Joneses. They have it, so I must have it as well. To be seen to be able to keep up with them, my preeminence and position demands it. But then the wise look at the few things they have and reply, yes, but I am the Joneses. I just keep up with me. I live within my means. I live for God, for in Him I live and move and have my being. And that is enough for me, for I have God. Quote, but Satan came and insinuated doubts in God's wisdom. He accused him, their heavenly Father and Sovereign, of selfishness, because to test their loyalty, he had prohibited them from eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Eve fell under the temptation, and Adam accepted the forbidden fruit from his wife's hand. He fell under the smallest test that the Lord could devise to prove his obedience, and the floodgates of woe were opened upon our world. He was furnished with a holy nature, sinless, pure, undefiled, but he fell because he listened to the suggestions of the enemy, and his posterity became depraved. From Christ Triumphant, page 246. Quote, God might have created man without the power to transgress his law. He might have withheld the hand of Adam from touching the forbidden fruit, but in that case, man would have been not a free moral agent, but a mere automaton, a robot. Without freedom of choice, his obedience would not have been voluntary, but forced. There would have been no development of character. It would have been unworthy of man as an intelligent being, and would have sustained Satan's charge of God's arbitrary rule. God made man upright. He gave him noble traits of character with no bias towards evil. He endowed him with highly intellectual powers and presented before him the strongest possible inducements to be true to his allegiance. Obedience, perfect, perpetual, was the condition of eternal happiness. On this condition he was to have access to the tree of life, so long as they remained loyal to the divine law. Their capacity to know, to enjoy, and to love would continually increase. They would be constantly gaining new treasures of knowledge, discovering fresh springs of happiness, and obtaining clearer and yet clearer conceptions of the immeasurable and unfailing love of God. From Conflict and Courage, page 13. Quote, having herself transgressed, she, Eve, became the agent of Satan, working the ruin of her husband. In a state of strange, unnatural excitement, with her hands filled with the forbidden fruit, she sought his presence and related all that had occurred. An expression of sadness came over the face of Adam. He appeared astonished and alarmed. To the words of Eve he replied that this must be the foe against whom they had been warned, and by the divine sentence she must die. In answer, she urged him to eat, repeating the words of the serpent that they should surely not die. She reasoned that this must be true, for she felt no evidence of God's displeasure, but on the contrary, realized a delicious, exhilarating influence, thrilling every faculty with a new life, such she imagined as inspired the heavenly messenger. From Conflict and Courage, page 16. How so very sad it is that when the passions of delusion passes by so very rapidly, and one is left with the realization of and the consequences of sin, that Satan is gone, nowhere to be found, to back you up, to support you, but God is still there, guiding you away from sin and sorrow and disaster. But somehow we took our eyes off the prize, letting God's hand go, wandering away from God, and through sin fell into the realization that Father was wise and right all along. So then, I will arise and go to my father's house and say, Father, I've sinned. Make me as one of your slaves. But then again, you are God's son or daughter, royal, special. So then, confess and forsake sin, be joined once more to God and his family, and then watch out and warn others of their pitfalls, the delusions, selfishness, corrupted thinking, that I needed something more. Yes, something more. But of the reality of God and of salvation, of walking daily with God, experiencing his love and devotion, and having absolutely nothing more to do with sin and sorrow and separation from God, as sin is just delusional, full of sickness and sorrow, disaster and death. I just want something more, much more of heavenly, godly, purity, undefilement, so that I am fit for the courts of heaven. Of that reality, I need something more. It's been so nice to share this article with you, and we look forward to meeting again. Thank you for these precious moments of your time, and thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing this with friends and family. But do you need something more of God? Till we meet again, please stay safe.